I graduated again, this time from Madison College with a degree in web and digital media design. And I did get an offer from WFAA where I was working technically part time, like full time when I could. It was nice. They gave me that flexibility there. But now I officially got the full time offer from WFAA to continue in the IT role there. Not web design, not creative, but a full time office job with benefits. So that's a step in, the right direction. The IT job is great for now. It's paying the bills. It's safe. It's indoors. It's not physical. It doesn't require a lot of effort compared to, labor jobs, manual labor, that kind of stuff. So it's real nice. Got a good GPA this time too, and I really wanted to graduate with a strong GPA, so I did that, and that feels nice. So kind of check that box, and I produced a diversity of work for different clients. I know some people might think I just would work on hip hop or, whatever else, just one lane sort of, but I really spread it out and did projects for clients in the area, for the most part, local, but in different genres, different categories. One of the requirements of the program I went through was that I published my own personal website portfolio. So that was good to kind of separate Basement Made and my own work out. I'm going to be working on moving some things over there. Of course, I'm included in Midwest culture and hip hop too. So, ultimately, my work is going to be on Basement Made, but creating some separation there will be good for my career. Starting the second round of college, especially starting during the pandemic, gave me some insight into what it's like now and kind of how it compares to when I started out, and a few recent exciting developments with education and help there too. So I want to go through some of that. First off, I'm for universal education. Um, we have to decide going forward, how important education is with some of the jobs that will be taken away by AI and the more automation we have. We're going to need to figure out what are those things that we ultimately care about. And one of those is education, learning, and building our minds and our skill sets. So uh, we'll want to find the money somehow from taxes or from a new system that we develop. But we're going to have to maintain the education of people if they want it. They can go as far as they want. If you just want to get to the bare minimum and do something manual, something physical with your body, okay, you don't need to progress. But the option should be available to you. I'm real excited for those who are benefiting from Bucky's Tuition Promise, which was launched in 2018. And that allows students that come from families that make 65,000 or less dollars to get 4 years of tuition paid for at UW Madison. And now the Wisconsin Tuition Promise is rolled out this year, but that's really just a one-time thing for this fall and the coming spring, and that's for students that come from families that make 62,000 or less dollars. They can go to all the schools except for UW Madison. And knowing that this Wisconsin Tuition Promise is only going for the next year, covering those students that are coming in for that next year, UW Milwaukee's launching a program too, similar to Madison's, the Tuition Promise, to cover students that fall in this income range. And starting school during the pandemic, I did learn about the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund right away. And so that was put into place with the CARES Act, and that was in 2020, and sort of got carried over. And so there's still some money left at certain schools. So if you are going to college or thinking about going back, make sure that you apply for emergency funding. That might help you out. Then, of course, there's the big one and widest reaching, the Federal Student Loan Forgiveness Program. And that was launched in 2007 by the Bush administration, and it was largely a failure. It was, you make your payment for 120 months, and then whatever's left is paid off, or you're taken care of at that point. But it just didn't cover a significant amount of people, and so here we are. But the SAVE program is now rolling out, and so that's been a big one for the Biden administration, Biden-Harris. And it's going to be the best option for most now, and it's based on income. So it's like 5 to 10% of your discretionary income. It's an income-based plan, so that's much better than a hard and fast amount that you're going to pay split up into blocks for most people, not always. So you still want to look into your options. But the government, the big thing with the SAVE plan is that the government will pay off the interest if you can't afford it. So you're not going to be stacking up this interest as you go along, not knowing if you'll ever be able to pay it off. And so then the plans, if you took out less, it's less time, of course. The plans 10 to 25 years, a long time, of course. And so uh, sometimes you'll have $0 payments depending on how much you're making. It's a long time. And that's the biggest argument against this plan is that 10 to 25 years is still too long. So the time may be extended and your payments aren't just going to be wiped away like $10 to $20,000 just gone. You're not always going to have the $0 repayment. You're going to have to get recertified every year. But it definitely is something. The Parent Plus loans aren't benefiting as much, so some parents aren't as excited about this either. But it's something, a step in the right direction, and I know a lot of folks are excited about this. And the Wisconsin Tribal Educational Promise Program. If you're from one of the 11 federally recognized Wisconsin tribes, you can now have your college paid for in Wisconsin. So super excited about that. I hope for a major overhaul of this Wisconsin system, the culture, and just this one-sided whitiness. Of course, who of these tribes is going to be super excited to go to this historically oppressive institution and just like Yankee Doodle Dandy, right? But the option should be there. Now it is. So that's supposed to cover your tuition, fees, housing, meals, books, and other expenses. So that's undergrad, and then if you want to go on to law or medical school as well. So covered by philanthropic donations and not taxes. Just some of these things that could have been done a long time ago, and finally we're getting there. But progress, and got to take care of the natives, take care of the Wisconsinites, since it's Wisconsin, the school taxes going to support this school, supporting it by word, by going to the events with our money. So need to, think a little bit and support the locals and not get so caught up in who's a nativist or who's a colorist or who's a racist and this and that. So very excited about all this. And for myself, I graduated. So multiple degrees, multiple majors and all that stuff. So working my way to that entry level writing job still. Happy holidays.